We have stated, early in Zeta Talk history, that the Council of Worlds considers a pole shift in the same category as tornadoes or hurricanes or exploding volcanoes or starvation or disease epidemics as an opportunity for mankind to grow spiritually and help each other. The earth is, after all, your schoolhouse, and this is the lesson on your plate. The Council interferes when this schoolhouse for learning will be utterly destroyed, as when an asteroid sufficient to destroy life on Earth were approaching and would be deflected so the schoolhouse can continue. In this instance, the Council would interfere, as man is not able to intervene. It would be a loss without purpose. Thus, the Council interferes when the environment is not balanced so as to allow real choices. We mentioned a past such interference in the quarantine between man and the giant hominoids of the 12th planet, aka Planet X. Being giants and enslaving man, a tone of hopelessness and despair ruled, throwing young souls inordinately toward a service to self-orientation. In this instance, likewise, man was not able to effect this quarantine. The Council interferes when a world has voted during a transformation, but the losing side continues their power grab. The Earth, voting to be service to others, as expected, is not to be plunged into martial law. Thus, weapons of mass destruction, though planted in Iraq, were never produced. Thus, continuing terrorism in the US, the prime rationale for martial law there, was squelched. The transformation being at heart decisions of individual souls, thus continues as planned and is not hijacked. Contrast these instances of interference with normal life on Earth, where man is able to effect change by taking action. Even in the face of a tornado or exploding volcano, there are choices to offer aid to others, put oneself at risk, or behave in a self-centered manner. The Golden Rule can be applied or not, and these are spiritual choices. This is also the case with a pole shift. Certainly not the first time for Earth or man. Always an opportunity to make spiritual choices to assist, and aid others or not. Thus, no different. In the view of the Council, from starvation in Chad, immigration restrictions in Australia, unmitigated greed on Wall Street, or the brutality of the oil grab in Iraq, man in the main is doing poorly in handling the coming pole shift. The elite are informed, the common man denied the facts. The wealthy elite, self-centered and greedy, who rule the world by virtue of the great clout their wealth wields, are concerned only so that their worker class can survive intact to serve them in the future. This is considered an unbalanced situation by the Council. The Council does not interfere when the schoolhouse will simply be rearranged, as happens during every pole shift. New opportunities for spiritual choices are vastly increased during times of great change, with established leadership collapsed, need and hardship everywhere, and little to stand in the way of helping others. In the words of Wall Street, these are growth opportunities. Spiritually speaking, the Council interferes when the opportunities for spiritual growth are being restricted to a handful of individuals operating the cover-up. They agonize over whether to help or abandon others, while the common man is told only that the weather and skies are normal and a return to shopping is in order. Imagine the difference if the coming pole shift, the presence of Planet X in the inner solar system, were a reality for the common man. All would weigh their life, their choices, live with their choices for some days and perhaps have regrets. A larger growth opportunity for more individuals for a longer period of time. Thus, just as weapons of mass destruction were removed from Iraq as quickly as they were planted by the coalition, and just as terrorism attacks against the continental United States were thwarted repeatedly to suppress martial law from being invoked, the Council moved to prevent the Kraken cover-up from returning to rigidity. Had tens of thousands of amateur astronomers not seen Venus transit after the loud announcement that this would occur, and had these amateurs made demands upon the establishment, doors would have slammed and resistance to open discussions would have increased. For those who say that the Venus transit, or the Venus appearance, a more accurate phrase, detracts from the validity of Zeta Talk, we say that most of mankind is unaware of Zeta Talk, or even of the Planet X concept, most amateur astronomers included. Rather than battering the doors of the cover-up with demands for an explanation, they are asking about anomalies around the sun, the type of open discussion that will allow the cover-up to dissolve. Thus, the Council allowed Venus to be pushed where it was reluctant to go, and make an appearance and to return, a small matter in the scheme of things. For those who say that the Venus transit, or the Venus appearance, a more accurate phrase, detracts from the validity of Zeta Talk, we say that most of mankind is unaware of Zeta Talk, or even of the Planet X concept, most amateur astronomers included. Rather than battering the doors of the cover-up with demands for an explanation, they are asking about anomalies around the sun, the type of open discussion that will allow the cover-up to dissolve. Thus, the Council allowed Venus to be pushed where it was reluctant to go, and make an appearance, and to return, a small matter in the scheme of things.